is up? We about to get into my favorite track, my favorite race, Bristol, and especially Bristol under the lights. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, it's the best race of the year in my opinion. Love this track. I need to go here before I die and watch a race. Um, a lot of potential well, not potential, a lot of dominator points. Period. Ton of laps. Um, them steep tracks of Bristol ain't nothing better. But man, let's just go right ahead and get on into this shit. You know what I'm saying? You are gonna need the dominators today, tomorrow, whenever, whatever. Most of my teams, I think I'm gonna try to get through. I try to get 3, but it's 2 to 3 dominators. I mean, it could be 4 dominators, but if you're playing 4 dominators, you have to go play 2 guys at the very bottom. Unless, like, what's the cheapest? Let me look. Hold on. Let me look at this real quick here. Austin Dillon. Oh, I mean, fuck. As good as he was last week, I would say Austin Dillon for sure. He could be a cheap dominator. Bowman, maybe from 8th, starting in 8th. That's the cheapest dominator. Austin Dillon, Bowman. That's the cheapest too. So yeah, I mean, you can't play fucking Keselowski, Truex, Kyle. You know what I'm saying? You can't play 4 of these guys at the top. I don't think. I mean, I haven't built no lineups, but most of my lineups are gonna be 2 to 3 dominators. So let's go. We'll start with Hamlin. These top 2 dudes, I mean, they've been dominated in the season for the most part. Hamlin and Harvick, but they also have dominated the steep tracks this year. They've won most of them. Like, I think Kez has won. Somebody else that has won, and then these 2 both have 3. So I mean, Hamlin starting 7th. Of course, he's a good play. All these guys at the top are good plays for the most part. I mean, I could say reasons why Joey Logano isn't, but Hamlin, he's gonna be fast. He's gonna get fastest laps. It's just a matter of how many laps led is he gonna get. If he gets up there and leads 80 laps, like you're gonna need him on your team because he's gonna finish in the top 5 for the. I would think tomorrow. He was really, really good here earlier this year, and he could come out and dominate tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of Hamlin just because I like guys under him more, but I definitely do like Hamlin, and maybe I have more Hamlin than I think, because I think I'm definitely gonna have less Keselowski than most. I think he's gonna be pretty fucking chalky. I'm gonna have barely any Logano if I have any. Don't necessarily love Truex here, so I probably do end up with more Hamlin than I think. But he's a great play. Of course, same. Everything I just said for Hamlin, you can pretty much say the same for Harvick. I think Harvick definitely has better potential to lead laps just because he's starting 4th. But I mean, it's not much higher. Harvick hasn't led a lot of laps here, but like he's just fucking dominant. The guy's just dominant. He's starting fourth. He's good at this track. I mean, what the fuck do you want me to sit here and say about Kevin Harvick and goddamn Denny Hamlin? I mean, they're the best two drivers this year, hands down, easy. And both are good plays tomorrow. Keselowski is starting on the pole. Ever since we got this car, I just, like last year, the pole sitter is just terrible for the most part. And this year, pole sitter's been shit, except when it was Denny Hamlin, and I totally fucking faded him, and he went out and dominated the whole entire fucking race. Keselowski's going to be high on tomorrow. I think he's going to be real chalk, like, because of what he did last week when I had a ton of him. He was my second highest on driver last week behind Truex. I loved him last week. I don't love him the same this week. I think that he could come out and lead 200 laps tomorrow and fucking kill me, but I'm going to be underweight. I'm probably going to fade because that's just what I do. I'm only making 20 teams, and I'm probably going to end up fading them altogether unless I just make one in case he does go out and lead 200 laps. If he goes out and leads 200 laps, I mean, I'm just going to enjoy the race and watch my favorite race of the year because I ain't going to win shit. Keselowski is, I'd say he's a better cash play to me than a tournament play because with him and Logano starting on the front row, he's going to lead the first lap. Keselowski, unless just something totally ridiculous happens, is going to lead the first lap. These two guys are teammates, so they're going to hold off that next row of Truex and Harvick, in my opinion. And Joey's going to let Keselowski... He's not going to let him. Keselowski's going to get out to the front. And yeah, I'll talk about that when I get to Joey Logano. But I'm gonna be underweight, 100%. I'm probably gonna fade. That's me. He's a phenomenal play. Chase Elliott, starting sixth. He's a phenomenal play with a lot of downside because at the end of the day, this is Bristol. This is short track racing, so there's going to be wrecks tomorrow. Is Keselowski going to get into it? Maybe. So there's definitely downside, but he could lead a lot of laps and kill me tomorrow. But hey, that's why we play this game. That's why I got fucking balls. Yeah. Chase Elliott, very fast on steep tracks. This whole Hendricks team is going to be fast tomorrow. My problem with Chase is the same as it was last week. Is he going to get up and lead laps? I didn't give him really any chance last week of getting up to lead laps because of Truex starting back there. I didn't think he could be better than Truex. He isn't. He's been really, really good on steep tracks this year. The best as far as speed goes. It's just, I just don't think he's gonna get up and lead a bunch of laps tomorrow. Can he? Of course. Like I just said, he's been the fastest on steep tracks this year, so yes, he can. I'm just worried. I'm worried about him leading laps. I think he's definitely gonna get fastest laps, but at this price, fastest laps just ain't gonna be enough unless he has a shit ton of them. He's gonna have to get up and lead over 50 laps at least and finish top 5. So for that, I don't particularly love him. He's alright. Kyle Busch, I do love. Problem is that I think that even though he sucked this year, his results here have always been good. Like, the best. He's the best Bristol racer, in my opinion, in the field. He was good here early this year. when he's been bad. I think he wins the race. I think Kyle Busch wins the race tomorrow. I mean, he's one of the guys that I'll have money on to win the race. I love him. But at the end of the day, this is 2020, and my dude has been terrible this year for him, for his standards. But I like him. I like him a lot. I hope that he's not going to be super popular, but I think he is just because of the past results, which would lead me to be underweight. But I think it's going to be hard for me to be underweight on Kyle Busch tomorrow when I'm not enamored with like these guys above him. Like I'm not going to be overweight on Keselowski because he's on the pole, and it's just pole sitters ain't been good to me. So I don't love Chase. I really like Harvick and Hamlin, but they're the most expensive. But Kyle's my favorite. He's my favorite dominator tomorrow. I think he gets up. I think he's going to lead over 100 laps. And I already said it. I think he's going to win the race. So he's going to move on to the next round. So yeah, let's move on. Truex, third. Truex has been really bad here. Is his ownership going to reflect that when my man finishes second and third every week? I think that it definitely will, because these guys above him are... I think every single play above Truex is a better play. Every single one of them, I think, is better plays than Truex. But the difference is that Truex is going to be the lowest owned, right? Hamlin, Harvick, Keselowski, Chase, Kyle. I think all of them are higher owned than Truex tomorrow. He's going to be fast. It's just... He's going to translate that into some laps led and a good finish. That's the problem. My man just never finishes good here. But he's definitely... Like, I just told you plenty of reasons why you can just fade him altogether and be underweight. I don't think it's going to be very popular. So, like, the underweight thing is just... That's just not for me. When I think the guy's going to be pretty low owned, it's either I'm going to fade him or I'm going. Like, I'm going to go overweight. And right now, as I sit here, I don't think it's going to be the overweight one. I think it'll be the fade one. And like, I would go to Chase. Like, I would say I'd take my 1 or 2 shares of Chase and just fade Truex. You feel me? Joey Logano. I really, really don't want to play him because, like I said, Keselowski's going to get out to the front early. Is Joey Logano going to push Keselowski to get that lead? I don't think so. It is Joey Logano, so there ain't no telling. But the thing is, Joey Logano could beat him out on that competition caution. I mean, I have competition caution every week. So I'm guessing they're going to have a competition caution tomorrow. I haven't looked. I haven't seen that. But can Logano beat Keselowski out of the competition caution? That's what, if you play Logano, that's what you want, because you want him to lead laps. But he can get up there and lead laps later. It's just starting second. I would rather play Keselowski over him. I mean, Logano is cheaper, but I think that Logano would be pretty low owned. So if you want to say, oh, I'm going to play 25% Joe Logano and be overweight, or play 25-30% but not go too crazy, I don't think that's the worst play, but it damn sure ain't the best. I don't like Keselowski much tomorrow. Every single guy above him I like more. And Jones, Kurt, Blaney, Johnson, all more. I like more than Logano. So why would I play Logano when I'm only making 20 teams? It's just fucking stupid. I'm trying to win, bruh. I'm not trying to... I'm trying to win. So, Eric Jones. Absolutely love Eric Jones at this track. just don't like the price. Like this price, I like the starting position. I love him here. He's phenomenal on this track. He loves this track. It's just this price. I need him to get dominator points at this price, and he will get fastest laps. I mean, he's gonna get over 20 fastest laps, but is he gonna get up and lead some laps at this price? He doesn't necessarily have to. I mean, it all depends on how the race plays out. He doesn't necessarily have to get up and lead laps, especially when he's starting 20th. He could finish second and not lead one lap and be on the winning team because he has 27 fastest laps and all that place differential. It pains me because I think he's going to be lower on than he should be because of his upside is winning. He can win this race tomorrow. So I like him for tournaments because I think he's going to be a little lower on than he should be because the guys above him and the guys below him, like Blaney and Johnson, they're going to get the ownership because they're cheaper. I like him for tournaments. I'm definitely going to have exposure. It's just a matter of how much am I going to have. And how much is the goddamn field going to have. Kurt Busch starting 13th. Like, he's the worst player this. Like, I'm going to bunch these four together. Jones, Kurt, Blaney, Johnson. These four guys, like, Kurt is the worst player in my opinion, but it's not that I don't like him because I think he's going to be the lowest owned. I think that's easy to say. That Kurt will be lower owned than Jones, Blaney, and Johnson. I think that's easy. And there's no doubt in my mind that Kurt Busch can win this race tomorrow. My man's a motherfucking driver, so he can win this race. It's just much more likely that he's not on the winning team than he is. And that's just a fact. He's a pretty good tournament pivot especially if you're playing in the donkey tournaments, the huge field tournaments. He's a good pivot off of Jones, Blaney, and Johnson. If they somehow mess up or play two of them, but definitely hard to play two of them when you want these guys above them. Blaney, I love. Starting 14th. I don't even think I've been saying where these guys been starting. Blaney starting 14th. I love him. He loves this track. It's just I think he's gonna be popular. When I was watching the race, I love what he said about about the race tomorrow. Like, just you in my way, motherfucker. I'm moving you. I like that. It also gives him potential to wreck, but I think he has to win the race. He has to win this race. He ain't winning. I don't think he's gonna win next week. So this is the one that he has to win to get to the next round. That I like. But again, that comes with the downfall of him getting into a wreck and sucking. But I do love him here, man. It's just I think that the field is gonna love him as well. But he's going to be lower on than Johnson, though. Like, the good thing about Blaney is that Johnson is underneath him, starting 10 spots back. It was also good at this track. My thing is Blaney going to be higher on than Jones? And I don't know. It's hard to gauge ownership, especially when I think all of them be pretty popular. I think Blaney will be... I don't know. I can't say I think Blaney will be higher on than Jones. I think he will be, but I don't know for sure. I can tell you one thing, though. Dude's going to be fast tomorrow. He's going to get fastest laps. It's just a matter of he's going to get on and lead some. He doesn't necessarily have to if he gets enough fastest laps and finishes top 3. But you want him to get up and lead the laps, and he definitely has potential. He is very good at this track. He likes this track, and he is good. Jimmy Johnson starting 24th. I think it'd be the highest on of this four. I think that's easy. Like I said about Chase, this whole team is going to be fast tomorrow. They're just been really fast on steep tracks this year. My problem with Jimmie Johnson is the same problem it is every week. He likes to suck. He likes to do dumb shit. I mean, it happens almost every week. I mean, this dude was leading the race. Where was that? I forget where it was. Oh, where was that? He was leading the race, and Jimmie Johnson loves to get into dumb shit, and he's gonna be very popular. So I don't mind the underweight. To fade him is just asinine. I mean, you're making it, unless you're just making a couple teams. You're making 20 teams. You fade Jimmie Johnson. Like, either you got balls of steel, you want to lose, or you're dumb. So I will have some. It's just, am I gonna be with the field, under or over? Not sure. Bowyer starting 11th. Really good here in this car. Like, since he got to this team in this car, very, very good here. It's just starting 11th. I could just see him riding around tomorrow, finishing 9th, and just not being on the winning team. You're going to be low owned. Like I said, just most scenarios of this race playing out tomorrow, like if I simulated this race 1,000 times, Bowyer being on the winning team is going to be a low percentage. So you only play him in large field tournaments, and you don't play him that much. Almirola is pretty much the same, except I like Almirola even less because he hasn't been good here since he got to this team. Like, he's just not been good. So I'm going to fade him. That's just the easy fade for me. He's like the first guy that's just an easy fade. I'll be fading MDB. Always love him here. He is really good at this track. He should have won here last year. Should have won here last year. Now he's in a better car. Like Blaney, I think he has to win. Even more so than Blaney, he has to win this race to move on. So with that is the aggressiveness, and is he going to get into a wreck or not? But I always love him here. But I think the field is going to love him because there ain't nothing to go on except past results, really. So they're going to look at the past results. I mean, people that played NASCAR last year and watched the races know that he should have won here last year, know that he's phenomenal here. So I think he's going to be pretty popular. But, I mean, there's a good reason for it. Byron, starting 15th. I mean, he's a pretty good pivot off of MDB. I don't think he has the same ceiling as MDB. But I mean, he's not supposed to be. He's not supposed to. His ownership is going to reflect. Like, he's going to be much lower owned than MDB, in my opinion. He's a pretty good tournament play. Definitely could finish top 10 here. He's driving the Hendricks car, so he's going to be fast. So I think he's going to get some fastest laps. I mean, he's not going to get no 30, 40 fastest laps. He's going to get some. And he's going to be pretty low owned, I think. I hope. Should be. So, yeah. MDB is a better play. But Byron is not a bad pivot in tournaments. Austin Dillon, my goodness gracious. He was absolutely phenomenal last week. I just really want him on 1.5 miles, but he was, oh my God. The dude was the most impressive driver last week to me. And it wasn't even fucking close. I don't even, like, Keselowski was dominant, but Austin Dillon was the best driver last week. It was what he did with all those fastest laps. He was so fast. But I'm fading again. Like, my man is starting 5th place. We're at Bristol. Like, come on, man. the fucking chalk donkeys is gonna jump. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh my god, how fast was he last week? Like, chalk donkeys, you can have that shit, bruh. I am not playing Austin Dillon starting fifth. I don't give a. I'm just not doing it, bruh. I don't. If you want to do it, be my guest. I'm just not doing it. Not when I got Ricky Stenhouse Jr. below him, starting 21st. Hell nah. Love Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at this track. My dude is a driver, the most aggressive driver on the track, hands down, every week. I don't give a damn who's out there, cause old dude is gone. Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson might rival him, but love Stenhouse aggressiveness. But that's why he wrecks all the time. If he doesn't wreck tomorrow, he's gonna be top 15. I say that without no hesitation. I don't have no hesitation that he's gonna be top 15 if he doesn't wreck. Problem is that more likely to wreck than not. Like, I probably give him like a 65% chance to wreck than not. You know what I'm saying? So there's a better chance that he wrecks than finishes the race. But I'm gonna be overweight, and I will be overweight every single time Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is on this track. I'll be overweight every time. And he wrecks. He wrecks. I take that risk. Bowman starting 8th. I really don't know what to do here, because I think he's gonna be, or he should be, very low owned. If you play him, you just can't play much. He's just a low owned tournament play. He's got me stuck. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this motherfucker. I kind of want to go overweight, but like, I could play 20%. I'm gonna be overweight. He's not gonna be 20%. I don't think he should. He should be around 10, probably. Should be less. There's just better plays, especially the two right underneath him and the one above him. Do what you will with him, bro. Like, he's an alright play, only for tournaments, and just don't play a lot. Like, don't go over 20-25%. Ryan Newman starting 25th. He's been dog shit. He's been bad, real bad. But he is good here. I mean, he pretty much finishes top 15 every time he comes to the track, damn near. So starting 25th, that's a good play. I think it'll be pretty chalky because of the results. The speed recently, like, he's just been bad. He's been bad. He hasn't been good at all. He's been slow. He's just been bad. But at this track, man, he's a good play. I really wish I could pick 5 drivers every week and just tell me the ownership of these 5 guys. He's a pretty. I think he's a pretty good cash play, just because, I mean, man, Finn always finishes top 20, top 15. I think that Bell, I think Bell has more upside than Ryan Newman as far as finishing position. Like, I think Bell, like, but the problem is that Newman's starting 25th and Bell's starting 18th. Does it make up for that? Like, I think Bell has the better potential of finishing top 5 than Newman, but much more likely that Bell is maybe a top 10 car, but that's still pushing it. And starting 18th, like, he was really good here earlier this year. He's a pretty good play. I don't love him, but he's definitely not a bad play. I think that he's a decent pivot from Newman in tournaments. He's alright. Custer, just not for me. Not starting 12th. Like, what's the upside? Just don't see it. It's just too much upside. Just too much upside with other guys. I just can't play Custer on 20 teams, so he'll be a fade for me. Bubba starting 27th. I love Bubba at this track. Like, there's just certain guys that I love at Bristol, and he's one of them. Dude was just phenomenal earlier this year, and I had a ton of him. He's not coming back to this car, so like, how much does Petty actually want to put into the car when it's a lame duck? That's my problem with it, is that it was announced that he's not coming back. But definitely has top 15 upside. And I really wish I knew how popular is Bubba going to be starting 27th. I love him starting here. Like, I could see him finishing the race tomorrow in 12th place and just like going off. Definitely like him. I don't know how much I'm gonna have till I start building, but like, there's Nemechek right there. Definitely like Bubba for sure. It's just, I'm just worried about the car. I'm worried about, like, when this car doesn't have money behind, like, when they're not putting money behind it, Bubba is just terrible. Like, right when they started putting money behind it, this car, that's when he started being much better. Reddick starting 17th. He's alright. I don't hate him. I definitely don't love him. He's just blah. He's just probably a fade. Nemechek starting 31st. I mean, but he's not he's probably a fade for me, but it's not the worst play. Like Bell is starting 18th and Reddick is starting 17th, but you get to save money on Reddick. I think Bell has more upside, but Reddick has upside too. He had a bad finish earlier. I don't remember what happened to him. He got into something. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Why am I wasting my time on him? Nemechek starting 31st. Another guy which I knew the ownership of, because this guy loves, like, he's like best friends with the wall, because he gets it every week. He loves to get into the wall every week. So a guy is chalk, and he loves the wall like he loves vagina. I'm gonna want to fade him when he's gonna be chalk. Bad fade starting 31st, but I don't give a fuck. I will do it. Am I gonna do it? Probably not. I'll probably have him on at least a couple just in case, because he finished the top 15 here earlier. He was phenomenal here. You could do that again tomorrow, but like I said, my dude loves the wall like he loves to fucking eat. Matt Kenseth started 19th. Impressed me last week. It was impressive, but I still don't like him here. He did run this race earlier this year, so that's a plus. So he had pretty much all those laps of practice. That's definitely a plus. He's not a terrible play. Not a great play. Like, gonna be lower owned than like just like Nemechek and Ty and these dudes. So in tournaments, like large field tournament, I don't mind it, but the upside is just limited. Can Kenseth finish top 10 tomorrow? I just very highly doubt it. Ty Dillon starting 28th. I want to fade because I just want to fade. He's just not been good, and I just like other plays more than him. Like I like Kenseth starting 19th more than Ty Dillon, which is crazy, because I don't like Kenseth this year with no practice. It's just been bad. I think Ty Dillon's gonna be higher on than he should be. I think Ty Dillon's gonna go out and race tomorrow and finish right here about where he's starting. I think he's gonna finish no better than 26th, 25th. And I think Buescher could finish top 10. So, I mean, what the fuck? Come on, man. I don't want to play this guy. This guy's been slow. Definitely not the worst play. It's just, I don't see him finishing top 20. I just don't. Buescher starting 23rd. I like him starting here because I think Ty might be higher on than Buescher, which would be phenomenal to me. I like Buescher. I'm gonna be overweight. I know that for sure. I hope people attract to Ty Dillon and stay away from Buescher. That'd be nice. Go up there and get Nemechek. Get that chalk donkey that loves to get into that wall. So yeah, I like Buescher. I think he's gonna finish top 15 tomorrow. McDowell, 26th, was really good here earlier. I like Buescher more than him, but I do definitely like McDowell. I'm gonna have my exposure to McDowell for sure. I'll just have more Buescher. McDowell, like, while I think Buescher is a strong case to finish top 15, I think McDowell is a strong case to finish top 20. So can McDowell finish top 15? Yes, of course, but much more likely for a top 20 for him as Buescher is top 15, in my opinion. But I'm definitely gonna have some McDowell. Priest starting 22nd. He's good here. Earlier this year was phenomenal here. I've been talking about this guy for a long time now. Just been good. He's been fast. So I like that he's starting 22nd, so people can play McDowell and LaJoie and like try to go up to Nemechek or maybe go down to Suarez or something. So I do like that he's starting 22nd. So he's definitely gonna be in my pool. I'm gonna have some shares. Nothing crazy. Like, I definitely don't want over 20%. Like, I don't think you should play over 20%. Can I maybe get to 25, 30? 30 is really pushing it. I don't think there's any way in hell that happens, but I think I could throw him about 20% or so and hope that he runs around here, some carnage happens, and he finishes 14th, and we balling. Corey LaJoie, if my man finishes 14th tomorrow, I just don't see how he's not on the winning team at this price. Unless Buescher goes out and finishes 5th, then both will be on the winning team. Corey LaJoie, it's just not for me this week, which probably means he's going to finish 16th and be on the winning team, because I just don't like him. I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think I'd rather play Daniel Suarez, and Daniel Suarez, his car is shit. But I think I'd rather play Daniel Suarez than LaJoie, which is wild to me. I don't know. Well, I do know why, because Suarez is pretty good here, and Suarez is a better race car driver. But yeah, LaJoie is probably going to be a fade for me because Priest, McDowell, Buescher, just give me those dudes. Just give me those dudes. They just have so much higher upside than LaJoie, in my opinion. I think that LaJoie tops tomorrow, like, unless a lot of wrecks happen. If it's just like a normal amount, like just normal amount of cars out, I don't think there's any way he finishes top better than top 25. So yeah, Suarez, I probably don't have much at all. Like, both of these dudes need wrecks to move up, but I do like Suarez more than LaJoie. Like I just said, he's alright. He's not terrible. Um, because of all the Dominator points that are out there, like, I think that there's two guys down here in the punts that are just terrible. But like, if there's 3 or 4 Dominators tomorrow, and one of these dudes happens to slip up and have a good finish, I like Hill starting 38th, and I like Yaley starting 32nd. I like Yaley because of all of his experience, his card. He got a pretty good card compared to these other guys, but I think that those are the only two that I might end up with a team, because I'm only making 20. If you're playing 150 teams, I think you definitely want exposure to Hill and Yaley. Probably Smithley too, if I was making 150 teams, like, just because he's starting last. But making 20 teams, I'm definitely not getting to no Smithley. That's a fact. I probably don't get to Hill or Yaley either. But those are the two that I would think about. I think I like Hill a little more than Yaley, but it's like splitting hairs. I mean, both of these cars suck a massive, massive humpback cock. They just suck. So, yeah. That's it. I think I spoke for a long motherfucking time. I know that I looked into more than normal, just because I love this track. And yeah, any questions? I don't ever get none, but you could ask it. And we out this bitch.